Not where she was now. She was probably too busy sassing all my Aunt Prue's husbands, or yelling at my mom about her fried green tomatoes, or hanging out on the porch with Uncle Abner. That was the other world for you, but I couldn't expect my dad to understand. When I finally found him, he was sitting with my Aunt Carolyn, who had driven up from Savannah for the occasion. His new girlfriend, Mrs. English, had to sit with the faculty, and I was grateful that I didn't have to kiss up to her today. Or watch him kiss her, for that matter. We all had to take this slow. On the other side of my dad was my girlfriend's family, Lena's cousin Ridley, wearing a black straw hat as big as a hubcap and a little black dress as small as a handkerchief. Aunt Dell fanning her face with a peacock feather fan, and Lena's cousins Reese and Ryan in matching round sunglasses. Uncle Macon was back home, since the whole town still thought he was dead. Long story. But our friends John Breed and Liv Durand were there to report the whole thing to him. What little of it, that is, that Boo Radley couldn't report himself, from where he sat on the grass near the stage, wagging his tail in time with the band. John waved from the crowd when he saw me, even though Liv elbowed him. I didn't wave back. "Could this go on any longer?" Lena kelted to me, sounding as grouchy as I was, even in my mind. There were some drawbacks to having a caster girlfriend, like a nasty curse and an even nastier mother. Now, in the other world, another long story. But there were benefits, too. She had lots of unique abilities, including allowing us to hear each other's thoughts. I craned my neck to see her, down in the front row with the A's through the D's. Duquesne, Lena, was seated perilously close to Asher, Emily. I smiled. "I'm just trying not to pass out, Elle." 5 more minutes of this, and I'll join you, Ethan." A louder thought shoved past the others. "You think we can hide beneath the bleachers without anyone noticing?" Which would be Link, my best friend and former mortal, now 1/4 incubus. Lena and I always managed to forget that he could Celt too, ever since he turned. As a result, he found a way to pop in at the most awkward times. "Get out of my head, buttwipe," I Celted back. Down on the bleacher in front of me, he shook his head. "Hey, don't lose it on me. Tell your girlfriend there to squeeze out a little rain. I'm not wearing anything under this gown, and my cheeks are sweating so hard it looks like I peed my pants." I burst out laughing. Savannah Snow glared at me. "Shut up, both of you. They're starting. We may actually get home before midnight." The head of the school board had begun to read the names. Emily Asher. Mrs. Asher led a round of hysterical applause, mostly featuring every Asher within 90 miles of Gatlin. A few Snows chimed in for good measure, but considering it was the Ashers, there were about as many folks not clapping. Emily marched up to the podium to the tune of Pomp and Circumstance. Her shoes were like 2 skyscrapers strapped to her feet. Even her hair was taller than I'd ever seen it, as if she'd been electrocuted. Black eye goop was sweating down her face, drowning raccoon style. She had definitely pulled out all the stops. It was hard to look at her, even from back here in the W's. No sooner had Emily taken her diploma and smiled for the camera, Ozzie Phelps, from Gatlin's only paper, The Stars and Stripes, moonlighted as the school photographer, when the diploma turned into a snake. Hissing and rattling, it wrapped itself around her wrist like a fancy pharaoh's bracelet. Emily screamed, and then the crowd screamed, because the basket of diplomas next to the podium had become a crawling, slithering, writhing bundle of snakes. Rattlers, from the look of it. A whole mess of them. Then the usual stuff happened. Lots of screaming, lots of chaos.